You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Damasiewicz.
Which is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz. Stump Daniel. That's where we're going.
Jeez.
I kind of feel like you've already been stumped because you forgot where the commercial break went.
I already lost. I forgot that Stump Daniel was after the commercial. So
But,
I lose. Moving on. Okay, second half of the show.
I teased it in the intro. We're going to talk about LeBron.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You did sneak it in there
Yeah.
ninja style.
Yeah. I went into stealth mode. I snuck LeBron into the show. Actually, the inspiration for this was, man, we haven't talked about LeBron hardly at all. What's the one way I could get it into the show without putting it on the show sheet so Daniel would just delete it? I know. I'll do Stump Daniel. LeBron version.
Touche.
Yeah, okay.
I really haven't noticed not talking about LeBron.
Well, we, on the rare occasions when we do talk about LeBron, I think it's pretty well established anything NBA related, you just stop listening. Because you didn't know what team Klay Thompson plays for.
Go Cougs.
And he's your favorite player.
Yeah.
He's
Go
your
Cougs.
favorite NBA player, and you don't know what NBA team he played for and has played for his whole career.
Who does he play for?
I can't with you right now. I just can't. You really not remembered?
Yeah, it's the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
I don't Golden State.
Yeah.
Is that California? The California
Yeah,
Warriors?
it's the Bay Area. Yeah.
Oh, that's part of California.
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Good job, Andrew. We're all really proud of you.
I care about California almost as much as I care about the NBA.
So I'm gonna set the table here for this Stump Daniel. Prior to last season, LeBron had made the playoffs 13 seasons in a row, and had made the NBA Finals 8 seasons in a row. He's number one in all-time playoff points with 6,911. He's almost 1,000 ahead of number 2, Michael Jordan, who had 5,987. And 3,000 points ahead of the next active player on the list, which is Kevin Durant with 4,032. He averages 28.9 points, 8.9 rebounds, 7.1 assists, 1.8 steals, and even 1 block per game in the playoffs.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about LeBron for a little bit and how good he is in the playoffs.
We're not even going to do questions?
Just kidding. So
I was like, hey, that's a win for me.
here's a stat that I saw it in a tweet, actually, and then I looked up to find a little more information on it.
To make sure it wasn't just like a fake account.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
It's not like a LeBron, burner account.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damasiewicz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damasiewicz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damasiewiczlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com. So, since 2004, LeBron James has scored more playoff points than 10 teams.
Wow. But were those teams in the playoffs? Are these all playoff teams?
Well, everybody, yes. All of the teams that are on the list have at least 2 playoff appearances during that stretch.
Okay.
Because no NBA team has a playoff drought longer than that 15-year stretch. And actually, it's interesting too because this is since 2004, so the first 2 years of this, LeBron wasn't even in the playoffs. But then his 13 years, he's scored more points than these 10 teams. Daniel.
That's understandable. He's played, like you just mentioned, he's played in a butt ton of playoff games.
That's true. But the idea that one person has scored more points in the playoffs than a third of the teams in the league is kind of staggering.
It's a lot.
Although I feel already in your voice that you're not really interested in giving LeBron the credit he deserves on this one.
I give LeBron the credit he deserves for things. This seems a little like, yeah, he's played in 3 times as many games as these people, and he scores half of his team's points.
But that's part of the reason it's so amazing, is because of that 13-year stretch of making the playoffs and the 8-year stretch of making the finals.
So
Because
that's the impressive part. to me,
historically,
is that he's made all of these playoffs.
this stat demonstrates that.
Gotcha.
And not only
And demonstrates
fact
how
that
crappy these other teams
he's
are.
been in, well, you're going to be surprised by some of the teams on this list, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 10.
Yes.
How many can you name? Hit me.
The
You get 10 guesses. Andrew, keep track of how many guesses he's made.
What? I
I
have to
only
count?
get 10.
You have 10 fingers. Yeah, guess 10. We'll see how many you get right.
Detroit Pistons.
Not on the list.
Wow. LA Clippers.
Not on the list.
Wow. Is
0
it
for 2.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Not on the list.
What?
0 for 3.
What? Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic is on the list. You are 1 for 4.
Let's see. Since 2004. New York Knicks.
The New York Knicks are on the list. How was that not your first guess?
The Pistons are bad too. The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Minnesota Timberwolves are on the list. You've got 3 and 6 guesses. Started out really bad, but now you're on a roll, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Don't blow it.
No. The Utah Jazz.
Not on the list.
Oh my goodness. This is showing how much I pay attention to the NBA outside of Portland. Portland can't be on the list. I'm not guessing that.
I mean, they've had a few pretty deep playoff runs.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be crazy talk. Crappy teams. The New Orleans Pelicans.
They are on the list. That is correct. You now have 4 correct, and you have 2 guesses left.
Let's see.
Are you running out of teams that you remember the name of?
No. The Phoenix Suns.
Not on the list. You got one more guess. You could get to 50% if you get one.
Oh, bother.
Did you just go Winnie the Pooh on
I
me?
did. My nephew loves Winnie the Pooh. So he says, oh, bother a ton. I need this one.
Yeah, you do.
Trying to think, but also trying not to be silent while I think.
I mean,
because
either way,
it's
you
terrible
fail.
radio.
Can you not think of teams? Is that what's happening right now?
No, but I've missed so many of these that I
Yeah.
thought were pretty good guesses because they're terrible. But
Yeah, they were all bad guesses.
so what this is
Even the
telling me
ones
is
you got
LeBron's
right.
not actually that good. You couldn't even outscore the Memphis Grizzlies. He played for Cleveland, so they made a lot of runs during that time.
9 of his
Did he
14
outscore his own team?
9 out of the 14 seasons that he made the playoffs were with Cleveland. So
But did he score more points than the rest? I guess that would count.
yeah,
towards
those
his-
yes, he'd be going against himself.
You
there.
don't take away his points. Oh gosh. I don't feel like this should have been this hard. I feel like
You really got stuck on 10. Like this is you have to throw out one more guess.
I know.
You
There's
only
still
remember
some-
9 teams.
There's still some pretty pathetic teams on this list.
I know, but I don't usually pay attention.
You
to
don't
them.
even have the lowest one on the list correct.
Really?
Yeah.
God. This is really bad.
Yeah, it is. Pretty gross.
The Brooklyn Nets.
That is one of them,
Oh,
although
thank
not one of the
goodness.
lowest ones. You got 5. You got 5 out of 10.
No, I'm not gonna even claim that as a win.
No, you can't. You can't. Okay, so just to reiterate, since 2004, LeBron James has 6,911 playoff points. He is the NBA's all-time leader, and during that stretch, he has scored more than 10 of the teams in the league. 10.
Yes.
1/3 of the teams in the league he's scored more playoff points than. The worst team in playoff points since that stretch is the Charlotte Hornets. They have 3 playoff appearances and have scored 1,342.
Yep, totally forgot about them.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't get that one.
Yep.
The next one on the list you did get. The Minnesota Timberwolves have 2,163 points in 2 playoff appearances. The New York Knicks, which would have been my first guess immediately, 2,176 in 4 playoff appearances, but they always get bounced early. The Sacramento Kings, you did not get.
Oh, the
2,237 points in 3 playoff appearances. The New Orleans Pelicans you did get 4,073 in 6 playoff appearances. Here's one that you probably didn't get because of recency bias.
Okay.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
I was so close to seeing them, but I couldn't remember how, because they're in the East.
Right.
And so I don't pay attention to the East as much, especially because it's been whatever team LeBron's on, and it doesn't really matter who else is in there.
Yep. And it's been different teams that have been the
Yeah, and I couldn't remember if they were one of those teams that was like always in the 8 seed or something.
Well, they've made the playoffs 8 times during that stretch, but almost always get bounced early. And they have scored 5,382 playoff points. The Philadelphia 76ers are next, and that's another one that they've been better recently and actually made a pretty deep playoff run last year. But remember the process where they stunk on purpose for like 10 years in a row?
I also thought, was it really 10 years?
No, I'm exaggerating.
Because I remembered like the Allen Iverson years.
Yeah.
But that's probably too far
That's
along.
pre-2004.
Yeah, wow. Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah, you are.
Because that's still what I think of when I think of the Sixers.
So 5,439 points in 7 playoff appearances for the Sixers. The Orlando Magic you did get.
Yes.
6,413 points in 7 playoff appearances. The Brooklyn Nets you also got 6,452 points.
And all I could think of them was when Jason Kidd played for the New Jersey Nets.
Oh my gosh, you are old.
I'm so old.
That was in 8 playoff appearances. And then the last team on the list is the Washington Wizards. 6,586 points in 8 playoff appearances. So those are the 10 teams that LeBron has outscored in the playoffs since 2004. I actually have LeBron's pro basketball reference page up. Would you like to just go through all of his stats?
No.
Like do a really deep dive on everything he's done in every year of his whole career?
Not
No
really.
thanks.
Okay. I really thought you were going to say yes to that.
Well, after getting a passing grade last week, I quickly fallen from grace and back into failure.
Yeah, fail.
That
I would say good job, but that'd be a lie.
That was Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz. Thanks and no thanks all at the same time for that sponsorship.